Hi, everyone, and welcome to Sandra Cruz Unfiltered. My name is Sandra Cruz, and today I'm going to talk about the frequency of authenticity. The frequency of authenticity is a very interesting subject. Have you ever thought of any way of being as a frequency, as having an energy, as being tangible, something you can feel and experience? Well, authenticity is one of those things because when you're authentic, you walk differently for this world. When you're authentic, you're standing in your power. When you're authentic, you know exactly who you are and you love every bit of it. When you're authentic, it is hard to be manipulated. When you're authentic, it is nearly impossible to make you afraid of something because you've risen above it already. Being authentic means owning every part of your story. Being authentic means realizing when you make a mistake and instead of punishing yourself for it, feeling ashamed, feeling guilty, feeling like unworthy, you own it. How do you get to being authentic? Or rather, when do you start realizing that you're not? Well, technically, for the bigger part of our lives, we're not authentic. As children, we're being taught who to be and what to believe. Then, as teenagers and young adults, we explore the world from this state of being that we were taught since childhood. And then we start to feel uncomfortable because it just doesn't feel right and we don't understand why. Well, it's because we're starting to tap into authenticity. And you cannot feel authentically yourself when you don't know yourself. And that is really the whole life's journey, getting to know who you are. And with that, releasing everything you're not. And that will lead you to being authentic. That will lead you to be exactly who you are. That will lead you to release your trauma. It will help you to release your limiting beliefs, your self-sabotaging behavior. It will help you to release everything you were taught you should be and actually become the person you were always meant to be. That is the frequency of authenticity. And right now, as a collective, that's the energy. That's the frequency that I'm feeling. That's what I'm seeing in my clients and my friends. We're all craving for authenticity. All those limiting beliefs, all that self-sabotaging behavior, it's being pushed into our face so that we can transform it, so that we can release it, step out of it, rise above it, and become the person we were always meant to be. Now, let me tell you a little bit about how you feel as an authentic person with inauthentic people. For the longest time, I thought I was shy. For the longest time, I thought I was an introvert. And then I started to realize that I'm an introvert with the wrong people and a total extrovert with the right people. But how do you know what are the right people, what are the wrong people? That's the frequency of authenticity because you cannot be authentic with inauthentic people. So when you go into a room and you suddenly feel uncomfortable, you feel like you want to hide in a corner somewhere, that is the energy of inauthenticity, but it's not your energy that you're feeling, it's the energy from someone else or a whole bunch of people. Because energy affects us in so many different ways, and it's always the energy we react to first. So the frequency or energy of authenticity can be triggering to some, especially to those who are not authentic, who hide who they truly are out of fear, out of shame, out of guilt, out of feeling of unworthiness, because they feel they don't belong. So they may feel just as uncomfortable as you, and that shifts their whole energy because they're lowering their energy to the energy of the whole room. And then maybe you have like a couple people, let's say at a party, where you suddenly, but the energy shifts because they're just as authentic as you, and you start a conversation, and then your energy is expanding again and is meeting the energy of the other people who are as authentic as you. That's why sometimes we feel how the energy is shifting around us, how we start to relax because we meet someone from our tribe, or at least someone in the same energy vibration. On the other hand, when you're going to a place where people are in the same energy field as you are, when you are going to a place with people who are authentically who they are, unapologetically who they are, then the energy feels like you've come home. So you see, the frequency of authenticity is all about the vibration, the energy, the signals a person sends out. Like I just said, you cannot be authentic with inauthentic people. It doesn't work like that. But you have to understand that the discomfort you're feeling as an authentic person is not you, it's them. It's their energy that you're feeling, this inauthentic energy, this trying to hide something, that's not being yourself, this trying to be too perfect. I know some people who really have to think about every word they're speaking. That's so inauthentic because they can never let loose and just say whatever pops into their minds. That's inauthentic. And they feel uncomfortable because they're afraid of being authentic for whatever reason. Most of the time, the reason is trauma. But something that I see in the collective right now is the need for authenticity. It's breaking free of the old patterns. It's breaking free from the ancestral ties. It's breaking free from the traumas, the triggers, the limiting beliefs. It's the need to be who we are. It's the need to be authentic. And this struggle is what I see in my clients, what I see in my friends, and what I feel collectively. I was just talking to a friend of mine a few minutes ago before this video, and I told her how, yeah, upset, almost angry I feel when I look at people struggling, and I think, like, you don't have to struggle, just own your shit already. Well, that's really what it is. You heal from your past, you release your triggers, and you become who you're meant to be. You become authentic. And then there's no question about who you are. Once you reach that level of authenticity, you don't doubt yourself. You will own everything you say. You will own every decision you make. You will own your story. And once you do that, you become so self-confident, so self-loving. No one can take this from you. Once you are authentic, no one can traumatize you. Or if they have to try really hard. Because before someone can traumatize you, they have to make you afraid. But once you're authentic and you see all this inauthenticity around you, you don't become afraid anymore. You cannot be controlled when you're authentic. And that is where the collective is going. That's the energy that I'm feeling, the release of the control, the release of the fear, the release of being told who to be. We're all individuals. And as individuals, we create society. But think about it. A society that is governed by fear, by control, by doubts, by worries, they can be controlled. There will always be worrying about something. But a society that is governed by being authentic and allowing others to be as authentic as they are and loving the authenticity and the honesty of other people, that is an empowered society. And that's where we are heading. And I see so many people who are confused about who they are or why they feel so strange, why they feel so struggling, like being pulled in different directions. And They see that they're not who they want to be, but they don't know how to get there. It's very simple. You heal. You heal your trauma. You release your limiting beliefs, your self-sabotaging behavior. You heal your ancestral ties. You heal past life issues. You heal karma. And you step into your own truth and power. Another reason why we as a collective start to feel the pull to authenticity is because so many people, so many souls have started that journey of healing to get there. And the more people are on their healing journey, the more people feel drawn to doing that. Because when we heal ourselves, we heal the collective. And so the collective is waking up to this need of being authentic, of stepping out of our comfort zone and battling with our demons, letting them go. So if you're feeling this pull to becoming authentic too, please feel free to look below this video. I'll leave the link to my online calendar where you can book a free consultation. And let's start your journey. Let's join all the other souls who have already reached their authenticity. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed my video. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And always remember, trauma is not a life sentence. You have the power to heal. Bye.